You wake, and the world waits. But before your feet even touch the floor, something greater is already listening. The universe leans close, heaven bends its ear, and life itself waits for your command. Do you know why? Because you are not small. You are not a wandering soul lost in a sea of chance. You are a word bearer, a law giver, a voice with power to tilt the scales of destiny. Most people open their eyes and step into yesterday. They repeat the same tired story. I am tired. I don't have enough. I'll just survive another day. And life, obedient as a faithful servant, says, so it is. But you have been called here, to this moment, to this very message, because something in you knows the truth. Life does not happen to you. Life bends for you. And it bends to the sound of your words. You see, the morning is not just the beginning of a day. It is the opening of a gate. The light spills in, the curtain is drawn back, and creation waits for instruction. It whispers, "What shall I become for you today?" And what you speak in those first sacred moments, the universe engraves into its design. Say defeat, and defeat multiplies. Say lack, and lack grows roots. But speak life, speak abundance, speak dominion. And watch everything rearrange itself to obey. The truth is this: your word is a seed, and every morning is fertile soil. Most cast seeds carelessly, wondering why weeds spring up around them. But you will choose your seed with holy intention. You will speak, not as a beggar, but as an heir. Not as one hoping to be chosen, but as one already appointed, already crowned. Let me tell you why this matters. Every morning you cross an invisible threshold between worlds. From the quiet of sleep into the stage of life. And the words you carry across that threshold become the script you live. Change your words, and you rewrite your day. Rewrite your day long enough, and you reshape your life. So hear me now. When you rise tomorrow, do not speak as the world has trained you. Speak as a creator. Speak as the authority over your own fate. Say with conviction, life bends in my favor. Everything conspires for my good. I walk in divine timing. I am aligned with abundance. I am favored. I am chosen. I am unstoppable. When those words leave your lips, they are not mere sentences. They are decrees. Invisible forces move. People shift. Doors appear. And life itself curves toward your intention like metal drawn to a magnet. Do you feel it? The rising within you, the truth cracking open in your chest. This is not wishful thinking. This is alignment with law. For as surely as the sun rises, your words call matter into motion. But here is the danger: if you do not speak, the world will speak for you. It will place its limits on your day. It will whisper scarcity, fear, delay. And you will find yourself living a script that was never yours to begin with. That is why your morning voice must be stronger than the world's noise. That is why your decree must come before distraction. Because when you anchor your spirit first, nothing can shake you. You may walk into a storm, but the storm will bow. You may meet resistance, but resistance will part. For life cannot help but bend to the one who commands it with faith. So tomorrow, when light first brushes against your face, when silence still holds the room, remember you hold the scepter of speech. And if you dare to use it, if you dare to rise and declare your authority, then life will bend. Favor will find you. Doors will open before you knew they existed. The only question is, will you speak? Because the moment you do, everything changes. You wake each morning unaware of the immense power that rests on your tongue. Most people believe a new day simply begins when the sun rises, but the truth is deeper, more mysterious, more sacred. A new day begins when you speak it into motion. Your words are not idle sound, they are decrees, commands, instructions that echo into the invisible and return clothed in form. You may not see the ripple with your eyes, but every syllable sets forces into movement, every declaration arranges your reality. That is why the first words of your morning matter more than you can imagine. Because what you speak at dawn becomes the law your day obeys. The universe is not deaf. It listens as though every morning were a courtroom and you stand as judge, rendering your decree. When you say, I am tired, I am unlucky, nothing works for me, The universe bows and carries out that order without hesitation. It has no choice, because law responds to authority. But when you rise and declare, I am favored, I am aligned, I walk in abundance, then heaven itself bends to make it so. This is not superstition, it is law, as certain as gravity. The invisible world moves according to vibration, and the highest vibration is the word spoken with conviction. Think of your morning like a blank page, waiting for the ink of your voice. Whatever you write there will not stay hidden. It will manifest in encounters, in opportunities, in the rhythm of your day. Speak frustration, and you will trip into it everywhere. Speak lack, and lack will sit beside you at breakfast, follow you into work, sleep beside you at night. But when you speak life, it multiplies, it blossoms, it builds momentum until it overtakes you. This is why the prophets, the sages, the wise have always declared, let the weak say, I am strong. They understood that words are not mirrors of what is. They are architects of what will be. The tragedy is that so many waste their decrees. They rise and allow fear to speak first, allow memory of yesterday to dictate today. They do not realize that each morning is not a continuation, but a resurrection, a rebirth, a chance to stand at the threshold of creation and decide what the world will become. You cannot afford to waste this moment. You cannot afford to be careless with your tongue. For each morning is a throne, and the words you choose are the scepter in your hand. Your words shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. The one who speaks as a victim becomes a victim in experience. The one who speaks as a creator becomes a creator in reality. This is why you must choose carefully how you define yourself when you first open your mouth each morning. If you say, I am just trying to get by, then life will give you just enough to get by. But if you dare to say, I am blessed beyond measure, doors open for me, miracles chase me down, then the entire order of the day rearranges itself to deliver what you commanded. It is not arrogance. It is alignment with the truth that you were designed to reign, not to beg. Consider how even nature obeys the power of words. A gardener speaks to his soil with seeds in hand, and though the ground looks empty, he knows the outcome is guaranteed by what he has planted. He does not doubt, he does not question, he simply sows with intention and waits for harvest. Your morning words are the same. They are seeds dropped into the fertile field of the day. And whether you recognize it or not, the harvest is coming. The only question is, will it be weeds or will it be fruit? Every decree you make is a command issued to your subconscious mind. And the subconscious, like the soil, never argues. It accepts and produces according to what you have spoken. When you rise and declare strength, your subconscious gathers every hidden resource in your body to make you strong. When you declare abundance, your subconscious sharpens your awareness to notice opportunity that was invisible before. What you call impossible begins to move closer the moment your words give it permission. Even science whispers the same truth in its own tongue. Words alter the chemistry of the body. Words reshape the pathways of the brain. Words release energy that is not lost but transferred, recorded, echoed in the field around you. The spiritual law and the natural law agree words are power, words are command, words are decree. So imagine how dangerous it is to begin a morning without awareness of this. Imagine how reckless it is to wake and mutter complaints, to declare defeat, to echo the world's fear. You set in motion a law that does not sleep, and it obeys with precision. Yet imagine instead the opposite. Imagine beginning with authority, with vision, with prophecy. Imagine saying aloud, this day is for me, everything works in my favor. I attract the right people, I rise higher and higher. Feel how the very air seems to shift when such words are spoken. Feel how the heart straightens, the mind sharpens, the atmosphere bends. That is no accident. That is the power of a decree at dawn. Your morning words are not casual. They are commands to the unseen. They are blueprints for the hours ahead. They are silent forces set loose to carve pathways in your favor. That is why you must speak not as one uncertain, not as one hoping, but as one who knows the law bows to conviction. Life does not move randomly. Though to many it seems unpredictable, like a wind without direction. Life bends. It shifts. It rearranges itself in response to the authority of the one who dares to speak with faith. Every moment around you is pliable, like molten metal waiting for the mold of your intention. You are not a passenger carried by forces beyond your control. You are the sculptor, the architect, the conductor of unseen orchestras. The proof of this is hidden in plain sight: how a single thought alters your emotions, how a single word shifts the atmosphere of a room, how one declaration spoken with conviction changes the course of a day. If these small things bend, how much more will the whole of life bend when your words rise with certainty? There is a magnetic law in operation, one that cannot be denied. Life is drawn toward the sound of your voice, the way iron shavings are drawn to a magnet. The energy you release through speech is not empty. It ripples outward, it clings to matter, it influences people, it shapes opportunities, it stirs divine timing into alignment. When you call yourself blessed, you are not simply naming yourself, you are summoning blessing into visibility. When you say you are favored, the current of life itself curves to make favor find you. What you speak is not a description, it is a command. It is not commentary, it is legislation. You legislate the unseen each time your lips part in declaration. Most people have been taught to describe reality, not to command it. They say, "This is how it is," instead of, "This is how it will be." They reinforce the limits they already see, and then wonder why nothing changes. But you are learning a higher law, one that the prophets, mystics, and visionaries have always known: reality is flexible, it yields to authority, and authority is exercised through word. The world you walk in tomorrow will not be the same if you choose to speak differently today. Life bends. It has no resistance to faith-filled speech, only obedience. Think of a river. By its nature, water flows downward, yet man can carve a channel and direct its course. In the same way, life flows according to collective patterns. But the moment you open your mouth with conviction, you carve a new channel. The flow bends toward you. Doors that were once shut begin to swing open, not because of chance, but because your word has shifted the current. Circumstances that seemed immovable begin to yield, because nothing in creation can resist the voice of one who knows they are backed by divine authority. You have seen glimpses of this before. Have you ever declared, even casually, that something good would happen, and then watched it appear? Have you ever spoken success over yourself and felt confidence rise like a tide, carrying you into opportunities? These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the universe bending toward the sound of your decree. Every outcome you have ever witnessed began first as a word, whether whispered in thought or spoken aloud. The home you live in, the job you hold, the relationships you walk in. Each was shaped by the invisible instructions of words given form. This is why the morning is sacred. When you speak at dawn, you set the pattern, you give the first command, you issue the law that the day will follow. The bend of life begins not in the afternoon, not in the evening, but in the very first breath of intention. And when your first words declare favor, abundance, alignment, strength, the rest of the day bends accordingly. People show up differently. Time arranges itself. What could have been an obstacle becomes a stepping stone, not because of luck, but because you spoke as one who commands reality instead of one who suffers it. Life bends in response to identity, and identity is revealed through speech. The one who says, "I am powerless," has already surrendered power. The one who says, "I am unstoppable," has already engaged a force larger than themselves. You cannot separate who you believe you are from the words you speak, for the two are one. Each declaration is both a revelation of belief and a shaping of reality. Speak limitation, and limitation hardens around you like stone. Speak possibility, and the stone melts into clay, ready to be molded. Do not underestimate this power by thinking it is metaphor. Even the body bends to the word. Say you are sick long enough, and the body obeys. Say you are strong long enough, and the body aligns with strength. The subconscious mind, which governs nearly all of your actions, does not question your speech, it accepts it as instruction. Life bends because your own being bends first. The inner shift becomes the outer shift, and the outer shift ripples into every arena of life. When you truly understand that life bends to your spoken identity, you stop wasting words. You stop calling yourself unlucky, unworthy, or trapped. You realize such declarations are not harmless. They are commands, and life obeys them with precision. Instead, you begin to craft each morning as a sculptor crafts clay. You speak with intention, with weight, with certainty. You declare what you choose to see, and you hold your word until reality bends beneath it. Every master of destiny has known this secret. Kings ruled by decree, not by suggestion. Prophets shaped nations with words, not with armies. Visionaries bent the future with sentences that sounded impossible at first, but inevitable later. You are no different. Within you rests the same power, the same authority, the same voice that bends reality. The question is whether you will use it consciously, or whether you will let it lie dormant while life bends under the weaker decrees of fear and doubt. To speak as a beggar is to forget who you are, to forget the inheritance written into your very being. The beggar approaches life with empty hands, hoping for scraps, pleading for someone else to decide their portion. But you were not created to live as one who pleads. You were created to reign as one who commands. The authority to shape your destiny is already within you, and every time you speak, you either diminish it by begging or magnify it by declaring. There is a vast difference between the two. Begging says, I hope. Declaring says, I know. Begging whispers, maybe. Declaring thunders, it is done. One is rooted in fear, the other in faith. When you speak as an heir, you are not trying to convince the universe to bless you. You are acknowledging that blessing has already been established. An heir does not ask for the inheritance to exist, the inheritance exists by right. An heir simply steps into it, claims it, and uses it. When you rise in the morning and say, I am favored, I am abundant, I am chosen, you are not attempting to create those qualities out of thin air. You are declaring what has always been true of you, but hidden beneath doubt, conditioning, and fear. Your words peel back the veil and reveal the authority that has been yours from the beginning. Consider the difference in posture. The beggar bends low, eyes down, voice trembling. The heir stands tall, shoulders lifted, eyes fixed forward. The beggar speaks from lack, desperate for survival. The heir speaks from fullness, commanding multiplication. The beggar waits for permission. The heir knows they are the permission. When you choose to speak as an heir, your words carry weight. They resonate with authority, and creation recognizes the sound. It is not arrogance. It is alignment with divine law. Just as a king's decree is carried out without question, so too your declarations, spoken with faith, are carried out by the laws of the unseen. Most people never shift out of the voice of the beggar because they believe they are at the mercy of circumstance. They see their bank account, their surroundings, their past failures, and they let those things dictate their identity. They say, I am broke. I am unlucky. Nothing ever changes. And by speaking as a beggar, they chain themselves to the very fate they wish to escape. Life hears those words as command, and so it bends downward, trapping them in the cycle of lack. The prison is not made of walls, it is made of words. But when you awaken to your true identity, you realize you are not the one outside the gates hoping to be let in. You are the one who holds the keys. You are not waiting for destiny to favor you. Destiny is waiting for you to rise and claim what is already yours. Speaking as an heir is not about pretending your circumstances do not exist. It is about declaring a higher truth that has authority over those circumstances. You may see lack with your eyes, but with your words you declare abundance. You may feel weakness in your body, but with your words you declare strength. You may face obstacles, but with your words you declare victory. And slowly, surely, inevitably, the seen bends to match the unseen you have spoken. This is why identity is everything. If you see yourself as a beggar, your words will always reflect that, and life will bend to confirm it. But if you see yourself as an heir, your words will carry a different sound. One of certainty, one of royalty, one of unshakable authority. And life cannot resist the command of one who speaks from their true identity. The universe recognizes heirs, because heirs speak the language of ownership. They do not plead with life to give them what they already own. They decree it, and life responds. Think of how a child of royalty enters a palace. They do not walk in nervously, wondering if they belong. They walk in with ease, because they know it is their home. They know they were born into the right to enjoy it. In the same way, when you speak as an heir, you are no longer hoping life will someday grant you favor. You know favor has always been your home. And because you know it, you speak it, and because you speak it, it manifests. The shift is subtle yet powerful. It begins in your tone, in the conviction of your words. Where once you said, "I hope I can make it through this day," you now say, "This day is mine, and it bends to my command." Where once you said, "I wish I could succeed," you now say, "Success flows to me, success flows through me, success is who I am." Where once you said, "I don't know if I deserve abundance," you now say, "Abundance is my inheritance, and I live in it now." Each declaration strengthens your identity as an heir, and with each strengthening, life bends more readily to obey. Authority is not something you earn by effort. Authority is something you accept by identity. You already carry it. Every word you speak reveals whether you have accepted it or rejected it. Speaking as a beggar keeps the authority buried. Speaking as an heir activates it. And when it is activated, your destiny responds. People shift, opportunities appear, doors open, obstacles collapse. Not because you begged, not because you hoped, but because you declared as one who knew they had the right to decree. Each morning is a field waiting for seed. It does not question what you plant. It does not argue with your choices. It simply receives. The soil of the day is fresh, unmarked, untouched, ready to carry whatever word you release into it. Some scatter carelessly, speaking in frustration, muttering doubt, rehearsing yesterday's pain. Those words fall like weeds, and soon they spread, choking out possibility before it can rise. Others choose silence, never planting anything at all, and so their days grow wild, dictated by whatever the world throws at them. But you have been shown a higher way, a path of intention, where every morning is treated as sacred ground, and every word is chosen like a seed meant to bring forth harvest. The law of seed time and harvest does not fail. Whatever is planted will grow, though it may take time for the sprout to pierce the surface. Your words are the same. Speak lack and lack will bloom. Speak fear and fear will multiply. Speak faith, abundance, and favor, and those too will find roots and bear fruit in your life. The soil of each new day does not know the difference between weeds or wheat. It only obeys the command it has been given. That is why the responsibility rests on you to choose carefully. Because what you plant in the quiet of the morning will rise to greet you in the noise of the afternoon. Think of the farmer who rises early to sow his seed. He does not fling it thoughtlessly, for he knows each kernel carries potential for harvest. He moves with purpose, knowing that what he plants today determines what he reaps tomorrow. The wise treat words the same way. They do not waste their declarations on negativity or hopelessness, because they understand that each word is alive, each word contains power, each word will reproduce after its kind. To speak is to sow, and to sow is to set the course of your future. The power of this truth is both a warning and a promise. A warning, because careless speech produces a harvest none desire. Words of defeat create more defeat. Complaints invite more reasons to complain. Negative declarations reproduce themselves until life feels overrun with thorns. But it is also a promise, because intentional speech produces a harvest of blessing. Words of power attract opportunities. Words of abundance draw provision. Words of favor open doors no effort could open on its own. The seed responds to the sower, and the soil never denies the one who sows in faith. Every morning you stand at a threshold where nothing has yet been decided. The hours ahead are like an untouched field stretching before you, and with each word you release, you begin to shape what will grow there. Some believe they must wait to see what the day will bring, but the truth is the day waits to see what they will decree. The world is not fixed against you, it is pliable, responsive, obedient to the command of speech. When you rise and declare, "Today I walk in favor, today everything works for my good, today I prosper in all I do," you are planting seed into soil that cannot resist growth. The day itself bends toward the harvest you have chosen. The danger lies in forgetting that the soil always responds. Many complain about what they reap without remembering what they sowed. They ask why trouble follows them, not realizing they spoke it into existence. They wonder why doors remain closed, never recalling the words of doubt and limitation they planted when morning was fresh. The soil is not cruel, it is simply obedient. It mirrors whatever has been placed within it, whether by faith or by fear. But when you know this, you no longer waste your mornings on careless speech. You rise with intention, shaping each word as though it were the key to unlock destiny, because in truth, it is. Your tongue is the hand of the sower. Each declaration you release is a seed carrying a future within it. You may not see the result immediately, but that does not mean the soil is empty. Just as a seed germinates, unseen before breaking the surface, so too do your words work in the invisible, before manifesting in the visible. This is why consistency is everything. A farmer does not sow once and walk away. He sows daily, faithfully, until the field is filled. The same is true with your speech. Each morning you add another layer of seed, and each seed increases the strength of the coming harvest. You must decide what you want to see more of in your life, and then plant it deliberately with your words. If you desire peace, declare peace. If you desire prosperity, declare prosperity. If you desire health, declare health. The soil will not deny you. It will not say no. It will simply reproduce what it has been given. That is the divine order woven into creation, sowing and reaping, declaration and manifestation, seed and harvest. And the soil of the morning is the most potent ground you will ever touch, because it sets the tone for all that follows. So treat each dawn as sacred. Do not let words fall carelessly from your lips. Weigh them as treasures, plant them as heirs, release them as architects shaping the design of your life. For every word is a seed, and every morning is fertile soil. Silence in the morning may feel harmless, but it is never neutral. When you do not speak, the world does not pause and wait politely for your instructions. It rushes in with its own noise, its own script, its own story. Fear is eager to speak for you. Scarcity has a voice ready to echo in your mind. The patterns of yesterday are already waiting at the edge of dawn, whispering, "Nothing has changed, nothing will change." If you rise without declaring your own decree, those voices seize control, and you find yourself living a script you never chose. Life will always obey the loudest command, and if your voice does not set the direction, the world will gladly do it for you. Think of the silence like an empty throne. Every morning you sit before it, and either you ascend with your words, or you abandon it and let something lesser take your place. Fear will sit there. Doubt will sit there. The voices of other people, their opinions, their judgments, will take the seat you left vacant. And once they rule, the course of your day is no longer your own. This is why you cannot afford to greet the morning with silence or hesitation. To say nothing is to allow the loudest noise around you to take dominion. To declare nothing is to give permission to everything else. Speech is not just expression, it is protection. Your morning decree shields your mind before the world has a chance to invade it. When you say, "I am favored, I am aligned, this day bends to my command," you are not simply speaking for inspiration. You are fortifying yourself against the flood of negativity that waits to enter. The world is quick to hand you its script, headlines of fear, voices of lack, reminders of failure. But your decree cancels their authority. Your words stand as a gatekeeper, saying, "This is who I am, this is how today unfolds, this is the law by which my reality will operate." Those who live without declaring their day wonder why they feel pushed and pulled by forces outside themselves. They do not see that their silence left a vacuum, and the vacuum was filled by whatever energy was strongest. Silence is not peace, silence is surrender. Peace is something you speak into existence, something you claim with authority. Without words, the day takes on the color of old habits, old fears, old beliefs. With words, the day is rewritten, reshaped, redirected toward new outcomes. This is why the discipline of speech is as vital as the discipline of breath. You would not begin a day without inhaling, for life cannot continue without it. In the same way, you should not begin a day without declaring, for destiny cannot unfold without command. The universe is listening whether you speak or not. But if you stay silent, it will replay the echoes of yesterday. And yesterday's script was not designed for who you are becoming. It was written by old limitations, by the memory of failure, by the opinions of others. To live in silence is to let those voices keep writing your future. Yet when you rise and speak, everything shifts. Your voice interrupts the repetition. Your decree halts the momentum of old patterns and replaces them with new law. Where silence would have allowed doubt to guide your steps, your declaration calls faith to the forefront. Where silence would have repeated scarcity, your decree summons abundance. Where silence would have chained you to fear, your decree releases courage. Words break the cycle, silence preserves it. The power of declaration is not only in what it creates but in what it cancels. A single decree spoken with authority nullifies thousands of unspoken lies lingering in your subconscious. When you say, "I am abundant," you silence the inner voice that has whispered lack for years. When you say, "I am chosen," you cancel the belief that you are overlooked. When you say, "I am unstoppable," you dissolve the thought that obstacles can contain you. Silence allows those lies to keep echoing. Declaration casts them out. Your mind is soil, your spirit is soil, and soil will never remain empty for long. If you do not sow intentionally, weeds sprout by default. The weeds are always ready. Fear, doubt, negativity, the voice of the world. The only way to stop them from taking over is to plant something stronger, something deliberate, something spoken with conviction. Every decree is a seed that strangles the weeds before they can rise. But every silence is an invitation for weeds to grow unchecked. Understand that creation itself responds to sound. In the beginning, it was not silence that brought forth the world, it was the word. Silence kept the void formless. Sound shaped it. The same law governs your life. Silence maintains the void, but words create form. Silence keeps you trapped in repetition, but words open new pathways. Every morning you face this choice: maintain the void or create the form. Stay silent and let the old script continue, or speak with authority and rewrite the day. When you choose to speak, you reclaim authorship of your own destiny. When you choose silence, you hand the pen to the world, and the world will not write a story worthy of you. It will write a story of fear, struggle, and survival, but your words write a story of abundance, victory, and divine favor. This is why silence is dangerous and speech is liberation. The law is simple. Life obeys the decree of the one who dares to speak louder than the noise that surrounds them. When the morning comes, the world has not yet spoken over you. The air is clear, the slate is open, the stage is empty. That is the moment when you must rise and fill the silence with your decree. If you wait too long, the noise of life will begin to pour in. Demands, distractions, doubts, and the voices of others all competing for authority over your day. But if you are wise, you will speak first. You will declare favor, abundance, alignment, strength, before anything else has the chance to contradict you. Because the first word carries power, and the first decree sets the tone. It is not simply what you say, but when you say it. Speak early, and you claim the day as your own. Speak late, and you are merely reacting to what has already been decided. To declare in the morning is to place your flag on the territory of time. It is to stand at the gates of the day and announce, "This is mine, and it bends to my command." Life respects those who speak first. It is like a river awaiting instruction. If you direct it early, it will flow in the channel you choose. If you hesitate, it will carve its own course and carry you wherever it pleases. Many live their lives like driftwood, carried by currents they never shaped, because they never understood the authority of the morning decree. But those who speak with intention in the dawn hours find that the current bends, the flow obeys, and the day arranges itself to serve their vision. Your declarations are not idle affirmations, they are laws. When you say,